Hi, so Collision was last night on a Thursday instead of a Saturday. Now, obviously it's C2 season, and you probably know the drill by now. We're going through and just doing a recap and review, essentially, of it. So, the show opens up with Pac versus Speedball Mike Bailey in the Continental Classic in the Gold League. Now, this was phenomenal opener, phenomenal match, and honestly, my match of the night by a substantial margin. Not that the others were bad, I just was really invested in this one. I thought it was excellent. It was a tale of Pac just constantly just cutting off Speedball with his trying to, obviously cut his, his flips and his kicks. But whenever Speedball was landing him, especially with the flurry of kicks, phenomenal. What I enjoyed a lot about the match was Speedball's kicks all looked decent. There was one that, like, a lot of the flurry of kicks where Pac kept doing the dodge, that was excellent, and he caught Pac. Great. Pac's just continuing. Pac looked the best we've seen Pac since his return, in my opinion. Looked like a good balance. They had a good sequence that was just, what you expect from these two. Speedball looked strong. Like, that was what I was glad about. They made Speedball still look strong in this match. Pac didn't, act cocky or anything, which is not really like modern Pac, but it's still, a trait of Pac in some matches. Speedball nearly got the win in the finish. He landed a head kick, but then Pac just got the brutalizer in and eventually got the win. Good win for Pac in the Gold League, so now Pac's one of the only people who's got a win so far. And honestly, it was a phenomenal match. I've not really got so much to say because it was just bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? It wasn't insane for stuff that they put on. Not like Kevin Knight's Coast to Coast yesterday. That was even more insane. But I mean, it was just everything was perfect. Everything had purpose, everything had a meaning, and everything just worked. I really enjoyed this match. It was really good. Recommend it. After this, we see Danny Garcia backstage, and he's with John Moxley warming up to go, obviously, for his match with Daddy Magic tonight. Now, they ask Garcia. Garcia just cuts a promo saying, look, I've got respect for you, Daddy Magic, but, I need you to believe for me one more time. And then he says his eyes are on the TNT belt in the future, which, honestly, great call. Really like that idea. I would love a go around about Danny Garcia's TNT reign, but another video, another time. After that, it cuts the break, comes back. It's Brodito backstage. Bandido, they basically ask what's next because they lost the belts. And Bandido starts apologising and saying it was his fault and he'll never happen again. Brodito does so much. Obviously, Brody's so close with him. Brody basically says, look, you didn't, you're one of the best wrestlers. You're probably the wrestler of the year. Don't blame yourself. You've got much more to focus on. You're still a champ with the ROH belt. And he announces he's got a 5-man, Iron Man, essentially, match in for ROH in their pay-per-view soon. I forget what the name is. Oh my god, Hechicero and Commander Blake Christian. Point is, it's an insane match, honestly. The fact that they just threw it out there. I don't really watch Ring of Honor. I keep up with it, but I don't watch it. I'm considering watching this one. And Ring of Honor's probably got one of the matches of the year with Bandito versus Keshler, so it's definitely not worth sleeping on. After that, it was Daddy Magic versus Danny Garcia. Now, I've been saying this should have been like Evil Uno versus Moxley, where there's just no chance in hell that he wins it, and he should be bleeding all over the place. I wanted Daddy Magic to bleed. I thought that was necessary. I really did. And Garcia looked good. He looked like he was just above it all. Daddy Magic was really, really emotional and aggressive in this match. He kept telling everyone to shut the hell up and stuff, calling Danny a bitch and stuff. Garcia did do well. It was a decent match. He did bleed, but there's this one spot where he puts Daddy Magic's head in between the stairs and smashes into it. Obviously, that's it's a lot now, but it's still cool. I think they could have went a bit further with the brutality, but I'm not against it. I still think they got the purpose over. I don't think they run this back, but I thought it was a good match. Honestly, it was quite fun. The imagery is great. There's this part where Daddy Magic teases to do the dance, and he does the dance in his own dumbass way. But, Garcia just looks above it. It just shows how much Garcia has changed. Garcia wins. And then when Garcia wins, Mark Briscoe comes out. This counts as Briscoe's segment. And Briscoe basically calls out Garcia saying, look, you want to go with this you want to go with this belt, like he said, and basically lays the groundwork out. I don't think they confirmed the match, but, Garcia, Briscoe is happening in the future. Not a bad guy not a bad match, honestly. If that happens at World's End, I'm all for that. That could be an excellent match. I really look forward to that one. After this, it cuts to Ricochet and The Demand celebrating his title win. And he obviously just goes on to saying, I'm your first ever national champ. And The Demand are basically bigging him up, saying this and that, who can we do? We've beat whatever. And he just says, who can we go with? And then he just say, we're getting out of this shitty ass town. So, classic heel work. They kind of lay stuff out, but they never. I was surprised that they never done this in front of a crowd. But I was also surprised that they didn't say, this is next for them. Now, after this, FTR come out to celebrate their title win. Now, I adore this segment. This is probably my segment of the night, if I'm being completely honest. And they come out celebrating the title win. Stokely's emotional, saying it's a big moment that, FTR is so legendary, just basically, waxing lyric about themselves. Then the lights go black, and I'm so happy about this. The lights go black, and then you just hear the theme, and then you know what's happening. Boom, bang, bang, gang. Juice and Austin going, do the little entrance. They come down, and honestly, and I mean this, they destroy FTR on the mic. Like, Juice, Austin gives them the credit, but then they're like, but the Bang Bang Gang are next, and Juice puts over the fact that they won $200,000. Dax goes to speak, Juice goes, no, not happening. And then, just basically puts them over. It was, honestly, I cannot describe verbatim. Watch the promo. Honestly, watch the promo for the Bang Bang Gang. It's phenomenal. Honestly, I'm a big fan of those guys. They're so over. Always have been. What I loved was, Dax goes to, because Juice's point, putting his hand on the chest and stuff and the belt saying they're ours next, you know what I mean, stuff like that. And Dax goes, if you touch my belt one more time, and Austin just smacks the belt off his shoulder, and everyone just goes, oh, something's about to go down. I love that. They honestly destroyed them in that segment. I was so happy with that. If you don't love the Bang Bang Gang, I mean, what's wrong with you? And then FTR left the ring, and the Bang Bang Bang, obviously, they stood tall, and I don't think they're not going to win the next match. That'll probably be their first defense, but I'm all for it. That's a great call. I miss the Guns themselves. I feel like AEW really wants the Guns to be their main tag team champs, which all for great tag team, super over, young guys, definitely AEW, probably for lives, to be honest, at this rate. Yeah, great call. FTR are phenomenal, obviously, but they barely spoke. Just Juice and Austin just destroyed them. No Ace, though. I don't know where Ace Austin is. That is a question I want to ask. I haven't seen Ace since Full Gear, but he didn't come out with them. I thought he could have come out with them, but it's not the tag team, so it kind of makes sense. After that, we have the MXM TV Open Challenge. They come out, they're dressed as Wizard of Oz this time. Don't know why. They could do the promo, and they say it's a trios match. Then who comes out was the Outrunners and Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle just made me laugh on the rampway. He just goes, I see my third best friend from summer camp. I'm going to go say hi to him. Then one of the Outrunners goes, we're going to go say hi to him. It was just dumb. The Outrunners have got another cigarette gear. This time it was Maribor. And they win the Open Challenge. Shock. In the match, because obviously one of the Outrunners' main moves is, you son of a bitch, and do the dap up. MXM done it, and they touch tips. It was phenomenal. I love MXM. I really do. I like the fact that they got the Open Challenge. It's just not as good as Max Caster's, but it's still fun. They're on TV. I'm happy. At the end of the match, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, the Demand, come out. I was surprised about this, and they basically can, just start attacking the Outrunners and Dalton Castle. Forget what the motivation was. And Ricochet's on the mic, and he's just going this and that, all, as he does. And there's this random celeb. They said who it was. I think it's a country singer. I don't know. I don't follow country. And they do that whole, what are you going to say? And he pushes him. Just one of those celebrity in the crowd segments. Whatever. Next, backstage was Don Callis family. I enjoyed the segment. It was kind of just basic, just a fun segment. It's like the Don Callis, what are we thankful for? And Rocky goes, I'm thankful for this. Josh Alexander goes, I'm thankful for Don's intelligence. Takeshita goes, I'm thankful for the family. And then Fletcher goes, he's thankful for the money. And then Okada goes, Okada just goes, I'm thankful that I don't have to tea with Takeshita. And it just kicks off again. Which, Okada's just rage baiting him. Takeshita loses his, just looks at him, just starts angry. They have to hold Takeshita back, and Okada's just grinning his head off again. I've went over how much I love this feud. It's phenomenal already. I cannot wait for the payoff. So next was Eddie Kingston versus Shibata. And this match was Eddie's best match since returning. By a long shot, Eddie looked good. Shibata looked good too. It was just what you expect from these guys, right? It's just... Eddie looked enticed, right? Shibata was just being just basic. They were trying to have a strikeout. And what I did like, Shibata normally no-sells as a heel. Not fully no-sells, but, in character. you know, I'm tougher than you because it's Shibata. And he did sell Eddie's chop, like, quite heavily, which I liked a lot. I was a fan of that. Eddie looks good. Eddie looks strong here. Shibata got the win. And no hook interference. I was quite surprised about that. I was quite surprised. But it was a solid match. I really enjoyed it. Eddie looked, again, it's the best we've seen Eddie in a while. There's one point in the match where Shibata's just hitting him. And Eddie just snaps. He just, like, takes his, obviously, his, puts the arm strings down and just stands up each chop and kick. It was phenomenal. Just, if you like Eddie, you're going to like this match. It's more the direction I hope they go with Eddie. Now, after this, Eddie got the mic and started cutting a phenomenal promo. Eddie Kingston promo. First time, like, it's the first true Eddie promo we've had since he returned, I think, and I'm glad. I'm so glad. It was a great promo, just basically saying he told me to come out here and shoot. I did, and he says how much he loves this, you know, what you expect from Eddie. Phenomenal promo, as usual. And he calls out Joe, because obviously the Hook situation, he says he's still got love for Hook, but he's getting tainted by Joe, and he doesn't want to see that. He used to idolise Joe, but he doesn't no more, and he says, Joe, I'm not in line for a title shot, but don't be a coward. He didn't say coward, but he said, don't do that. Fight me at Winter is Coming. I think that'll be a great match, honestly. Who doesn't? And I hope Eddie and Swerve and Hangman do have some sort of trios match versus the Ops. I think that could be really interesting, but probably going to happen. But I was so glad that Eddie just got minutes to himself in the ring with the mic. I was really glad about that, and honestly, I hope they continue this just momentum with Eddie Kingston. It's the right way to go with the guy. After this, it was Red Velvet backstage, and Red Velvet just basically put a challenge out to Mercedes because of the Statlander win, made her realise, you only won because of one mistake. She wants Mercedes rematch at ROH's pay-per-view. I was a fan. It was a good promo. I was a fan of Red Velvet through that match. I thought it was really good, and honestly, I will look forward to seeing what happens with that. I don't think I'll watch the whole pay-per-view, but honestly, Red Velvet, I enjoyed the Red Velvet vs Mercedes match too, so I'm enticed to at least keep up with it. Now, after this was Tekla versus Ty Mello. Tekla just owned the match. I mean, it's Tekla versus Ty Mello. I thought it looked better than what she did. Not that she looked bad. I just thought the presentation, especially in the open challenge, she looked quite strong. You know, she looked like she had a fire under her. She come into the ring dancing and stuff. And Tekla's just, I mean, if you expected anything less from Tekla to just destroy you, I mean, it's Tekla. She's phenomenal. Tekla looked great here. Obviously doing the bend over with the spider stuff. A lot of Tekla's strikes looked genuinely quite venomous, ironically, with the spider gimmick. And yeah, I just don't think Tay Mello looked great here. She's done the job of putting Tekla over, but I mean, Tekla puts herself over at this point. Tekla gets the win. Didn't really look in any like danger of that. After the match, it was a short match too. After the match, the Triangle of Madness come out. Well, Juliet and Sky Blue come out to attack Tay Mello. And then Jamie Hayter's musical hits, and I was really glad about that. I love Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter comes out because she's got history with the Triangle of Madness, specifically Julia and Tekla. About all of them, but I think it's specifically Julia and Tekla. And she stands off, and this Triangle of Madness still look like they're about to attack. And then Statlander runs out and makes the save, and then they charge off. Solid. Fan of all the women there. So, and Statlander, I mean, I hope Statlander has Statlander and Jamie. Give me that, please. I would happily take that. Now, after this, we get the final match of the night, the main event, Continental Classic Blue League match, Konosuke Takeshita versus Roderick Strong. Oh my word. What a match on paper. What a match just in general. It was a phenomenal match, as you expect. Very technical. The backbreakers Roddy was hitting, and even the gut cruncher one, I forget what that one's called. Oh my god. Naughty, horrible. Takeshita looked great here. You know, the strikes Takeshita does. Takeshita has no reason to be that agile for that size. Takeshita's a big dude. Like, you realise how big of a dude he is when he's in ring with someone like a Roddy. Massive. There's this one point where Takeshita, I forget what the move was. I think it might be the DDT or just a basic throw to the barrier. But Roddy literally lands on the back of his head. Looked nasty. I think it did affect Roddy. It definitely affected the match. Definitely. They kept putting it over. And I think that obviously affected the finish. Takeshita's high boot, the high boots Takeshita landed was really effective. I think that's how he got the pin, if I'm not mistaken. But again, it was mainly about the backbreakers. It really was. The backbreakers Roddy was hitting were just nasty. They were really causing Takeshita damage, but it's the IWGP champion we're on about. Of course, he's going to win. and he did, gladly. He's winning the whole damn thing. And yeah, honestly, great match. No antics at the end or whatever. You know, quite bog standard. Don Callis kept putting Roddy over massively on commentary, which all for. Everyone should be putting Roddy Strong over. Roddy looked great here. That back of the head thing definitely did affect things, but it was still a great match. Very technical match. And yeah, Takeshita gets a win on the Blue League. Can't wait. Honestly, really good match. And I don't really know how to describe it rather than brutal. And it wasn't to the intensity of I thought, but it was still very, very enjoyable. I really liked this match a lot. I don't think it was better than Pac versus Speedball, but it was different. The different types of matches. Pac versus Speedball is just, let's just go for it. It was telling a different story. Takeshita and Roddy seem a lot more even than Pac versus Speedball. Not for the fact of Pac was dominating Speedball as much, no, just because Speedball was harder for Speedball to find that momentum to keep it, but when he had it, it was working. Takeshita and Roddy seemed a lot more balanced in terms of that way, but honestly, they're both phenomenal matches, both great C2 matches, and the C2 again is off to a flying start. Yeah, so that was Thursday Night Collision on Thanksgiving. I really enjoyed it. I thought this Collision was very stacked, it was very enjoyable too. The matches were great, really was. All of them were great, and honestly, the C2 is just getting better and better, and it's just starting. I cannot wait. I'm not normally a Collision, like consistently Collision watcher, because sometimes it can be a lot weaker and doesn't interest me as much. But obviously C2 season, we gotta watch it. So what was your favourite match of the Collision entire episode? What was your favourite moment? And how much did you love that Bang Bang Gang promo? Because I adored it.